What is up? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy to be with y'all. Happy to be back, as a matter of fact, and on another episode of Tampa Talk Live, which we tend to do every Tuesday, but I snuck out of town last week. Unannounced little vacation. It was awesome. We'll get into that momentarily, but we want to welcome you. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the broadcast. Now, we'd love to make this as interactive as possible. Tonight, we're going to be talking about waterfront real estate in Tampa. There is a really cool project happening on the West Shore there that we definitely need to talk about. We're going to get into Gasworks. There's the commercial building is at its full height, ladies. Lots of stuff happening downtown if you haven't been there. Stacy's got a ton of new construction deals on deck for you guys. So if you're looking at new construction, definitely have some fun things to talk about. Madison's going to take us down to Parrish, talk about some underground opportunities we're going to have, literally. So that's going to be exciting. And then if we have enough time today, we are going to get into the weeds of real estate numbers from the month of September. And as we've discussed before, those numbers always come out on the third week of the following month because of closings and things. So I know it's a little bit late, but these are the actual numbers. They're going to be important to you. And there is some interesting data in those charts, ladies. I know most of you, I saw the emails that got sent out. I saw the people giving the thumbs up to Stacy's bomb video that she sends. And if you don't know, we send personalized messages out to our clients, keeping you guys in the know. So what we share tonight, you've already gotten a preview of what you're on our list, and we really want to make sure that you get the most out of it. So kicking that off, I want to say hello to the ladies this evening and introduce you to them if you are not aware of these lovely ladies. I mean, that's my fault entirely, so let's make sure we fix that. We are joined by the one, the only, the queen of new construction up in Pasco County here, Mrs. Stacy Amy. Good evening, Stacy.
Good evening, everyone. Glad to be back. I had a client actually reach out to me, wanted to know where we were last week.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Out of town at the last minute.
Yeah, I apologize. We'll get into that. You know, I got the boss spoke, and you know, you guys know how it works. If the boss speaks, you have to listen, and I'll talk to you about that momentarily here. But we are also joined by the Queen of Pinellas County. By the way, we got a Queen of New Construction and the Queen of Pinellas County, Miss Madison Cruz. Good evening, Madison.
Good evening. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here tonight.
Heck yeah, we're excited to have you. And y'all, join the conversation. If you didn't know, we try to make this very engaging and interactive. Clearly, the people want to know where we're at on things. So, you know, don't be afraid to send us an email about topics you're interested in. We love covering all things Tampa Bay, and that's what we get into here. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is going to be a little bit different than just straight information. You know, we're going to hang out a little bit, answer your questions live. Don't be afraid to let us know where you're watching from. We love hearing from our community here and really digging into what is most important to you all, because we're going to talk about food and houses if you don't bring topics. So, and that may work for you, and that's okay. But we're definitely going to get into some of the cool stuff happening in and around town. Let me say hello to Kevin this evening. Good evening, Kevin. Good to see you, sir. Kevin's out in Lakeland, my man. Said, I'm glad we are in the dry season. I can finally work 5 days a week. There you go. Yesterday's weather, ladies, was glorious.
It was.
It was
until the storm blew in. Then it was like, oh.
Well, and today the humidity was pretty tapered, and man, it was just awesome. I was a huge fan of today. I walked 5 miles and barely broke a sweat, y'all. It was awesome. Got out there and to soak up some sun and have some good time. We've got who we got? Ann's 3 from Texas. Good evening, Texas. What, Texas is not a small state, and you got to dial us in. Yeah, I mean, are you in the Hill Country? Are you out in Dallas, Fort Worth, the Metroplex out there? Let us know where you're watching from. Thank you, though. Thanks for letting us know, giving that as that insight. Now, ladies, before we get into waterfront and all the real estate things, here's how last week went down. So I just want to kind of give you all the insight. So Kate and I are working here, and for those of you who don't know, Kate is my boss. If anybody's ever heard that TikTok video where they said, I'm basically an employee of my wife, that's my life. Shout out to you men out there. If that is your life, that is mine. You know, basically we run around with the kids and whatever the boss says we have to do. However, I will say this. She is a vacation lover, and so am I, by the way. And we hadn't really taken time off this year. We went and seen family, but I don't know if ladies, maybe this resonates with you. Whenever you go to see family, while it is a blessing to be able to re-engage with them, most of the time is spent running around seeing all the people you haven't seen in a while, right?
Yeah, it's work.
Yes.
Well,
It's
I didn't
work.
want to call it that, but thank you for doing that. We'll take that word. It's a very
Well, you got
diplomatic
to
term.
organize the schedule just perfect so you can see everybody and
Yeah.
you eat a lot.
Yep.
And yeah.
The last 2 times we went to Michigan, we put 1,600 miles on the car while we were in Michigan.
Oh my goodness.
That's how much driving we were doing. And my family lives all over the place. So does Kate. It's a blessing, not complaining at all, but just it's a different approach, right? So like you usually running around. So we hadn't really had like time to decompress or disconnect. And we've been talking about going to the mountains, y'all. And for those of you that don't know, Floridians, we don't really get a fall. And if anybody is used to seasonal change, like we're all Midwesterners here, right, ladies? Madison, you're from where originally?
Ohio.
And you moved here from where?
North Carolina.
So some seasonal change there as well. Stacy, where are you from?
Indiana.
Shout out to those Hoosiers, by the way.
I know, right?
What is
We are
happening?
so psyched.
This is wild to watch. Hey, they got to play Ohio State. Anybody who's is an enemy of my enemy is a friend of mine. So I'm a big fan of that. But that's going to be a fun game to watch this year for sure. So, but ladies, we were used to seasonal change, right? The fall would come, leaves would turn colors, you'd get some crisp air. We haven't really experienced. We had a wonderful October. Not gonna lie, the weather was pretty great overall. But we don't, brown is not the only brown we ever see is some mucky sand out off the dirty water areas, right? Even our beaches are crystal sand. It's gorgeous. So we don't get as much of that, right? So one of the things that we've learned to do, in December, we'll have been here for 7 years, y'all, which is crazy to me, right? 7 years. Now, I'm a mountain baby as well. I love the Gulf. I love the ocean, and it feels like the Lord's hand is right on my shoulder when I stand on that beach. It never changes, and I'm so grateful for that. But I also am refreshed by the mountains, and to go and get some crisp air and some color change, and it's just great. So Kate was bumping around on Airbnb, and here's what we learned. And I am going to put some fear of panic in probably some people's hearts right now. So I just want you to know this. So we decided at it was like, we've been talking about this for a couple weeks. Are we going to go? Are we not going to go? We are just undecided and trying to figure out, right? At the last minute, she starts looking things up. Okay. So it was Friday or Saturday morning. She starts looking this up. And here's what I'll tell y'all. Airbnbs that are not booked for the week before the weekend before the week's about to start, that you're thinking about going, oh my word. Ladies, the Airbnb we got is like $850 a night. We did not pay that, y'all. Take a step back. I want everybody to take a step back. It was $850 a night. She got that thing for like $1,100 for the week.
Wow.
Yes.
No wonder why you packed up and ran out of town.
We were gone. We were out the door. So sorry for not sharing with you all why we weren't here last Tuesday, but basically we got the deal of a century. The view was unbelievable. And I want y'all to know this. I'm not just teasing anybody. It was an incredible experience. We would never spend that kind of money on a getaway to do that by ourselves for sure. But we're going to share that entire journey with our community here. So in 2 Saturdays from now, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, I'm going to share that experience with you guys. So you guys will get to see the house. The deck was like 1,000 square feet, 3 stories. I got to watch the Lions and the Bucks play with the fire outside. It was just awesome. So yes, I'm refreshed. I'm hyped, as y'all can tell. It was a great experience, and I strongly recommend checking out Blue Ridge, Georgia, if you've never been there, or just the mountains up there. It's just absolutely incredible. All right, Anne's answered us why we were in the why I was talking her ear off here. She says we're in Wiley. Okay, shout out to Wiley. Nick is in the house. What's up, Mr. Sanderstill? Good to see you, brother. And then we've got Chris is in the house as well. He says hello, Juan and Stacy. Madison's here too.
Chris is my person in Wood Creek.
Awesome. Well, good evening, Chris. Good evening.
Hi,
That's great. Yeah, so we got a rep from one of the builders in the house, right? So that's good, and we'll be talking new construction, and we're going to get out to that. I want to jump into the waterfront really quick and just show you guys this project that's working on. We're not going to go too far in the weeds on this project, and then I'm going to hand this over to Stacy and kind of let her give us a tour of some things happening out in the community. And the last thing I wanted to discuss before we get into that is, I don't know if y'all noticed or not, we launched property tours back on the channel. So if that is something that interests you, my goal is to have a property tour published every Thursday for this community moving forward. Okay, so that is the goal. Now, I'll say this. While we have an abundance of builders, some of them are pulling back on the models that they build now. So I will not be doing retreads all the time for that as well. So we'll play that accordingly. But what I wanted to share with you is we'll get out, and any new models for sure, I want to get in front of this community because I know it's a hot topic for our clients. Obviously, we saw a ton of new construction, so that's a huge point for you guys. So I want to get into that. Cool. Now let's get into it. We've got one more hello to say. Mr. Kemp, good evening. He says, good evening. It's been a while. Good to have you, sir. Good to have you. Awesome. Okay. So let's get into this. And ladies, when you see this thing, oh my, wow. Holy, oh, this is like, when I saw this, because when we were leaving for Blue Ridge last week, I was driving over. I was like, what's all that construction over there? You know, we got cranes up all over the place. You could see the gas works, cranes all going. I mean, there's so many cranes downtown. It was really cool to watch. But I saw this on the West Shore, and I was like, I really need to dig into what's going on over there. And this project is Madison, have you seen this thing yet? Have you drove by it?
No.
All right, I'm gonna go investigate. We are definitely gonna have to go get down here, but I'm gonna share with y'all what this is, what's going on over here. So, big project. Okay, Marina Pointe launches sales for a new 17-story condo tower in South Tampa. This is called Luna, and it's the newest luxury waterfront condominium in Tampa on the West Shore. Likely, it's got 151 residential units in here. And it's a private peninsula off the Gandy and the West Shore Boulevard. So the Gandy Bridge, for context, is the bridge that you take from South Tampa to where, Madison?
What is it? I'm sorry? The South Tampa to...
It's from South Tampa to St. Pete, right?
Oh, Gandy, yes.
Yeah, the Gandy Bridge. All good. She was doing her homework. And it is a 15 to 20-minute drive from downtown Tampa to South Tampa. It can be more or less depending on traffic, y'all, just so you're aware, but that's what's going on down there. Now, the 151 residents, this is what I want to get into. There's some really cool stuff happening here that I think is important. So for our water lovers and for those who really want to be on the water and have access to a boat, this place is for you. Now, the residents are planned to range from 1,200 square feet approximately to as much as 3,400 square foot, Stacy. That is a big
Yeah, it is.
Right. So they got 1 to 4 bedroom layouts, and the prices start at $1 million. They will go over $4 million. And my understanding is the penthouse is somewhere in the approximate range of about $5 million. Okay. Now they've already sold a tower out over there. So when y'all hear this and you're like, who's buying that? It is happening every day. They already sold through one of the towers. This is another tower they're building up. But here's some really cool stuff that I think people will want to know about this specifically. It's a 52-acre project down there. Floor to ceiling windows, of course. European style cabinetry, which means it's basically a flat face. Really, really sharp, clean. Think of it that way. And then getting down to here's where things get really exciting, ladies. Residents will have access to a 150 slip private marina. All right. Accommodating vessels up to 90 feet. So this is not like, we're not talking about little. Now, here's the thing. It's really deep around there. That's why. It's one of the spots in the bay that is really deep, but up to 90 feet. Amenities include a pool, sun deck, shaded cabanas, outdoor gathering areas, fitness center, 24-hour concierge service, of course. I mean, who's not going to have that? Waterfront promenade. And then also, I want to get into another, because I had to get through 5 different pieces of content to get everything on here. Okay, switching over to another article here, because there is some more information here that I thought was pretty cool. Not only will you have the 150 slips up to 90 feet. I don't know how many 90-foot slip spaces there are, by the way. So we'll have to dig into some of those details. But they can dock directly on site, like we talked about. And there is a nearby port with 32 dry storage vessels up to 40 feet in length. And then also, if you don't have a boat, there's more flexibility. They are doing a membership to the Gulfstream Boat Club, which allows owners to enjoy carefree access to a curated fleet. Think like the other big boat club that's in the area as well. So for those people who want to go out but don't want the headache of owning something or maintaining it, they'll have access right on site where they can just sign up for a club and they'll have a boat right down there waiting for them, which is awesome. So this place is awesome. And like I said, I'll get some more. I'll get content for y'all. I'll dig into this. I'll see if we can get into one of these condos specifically, give you a tour of this as well. But I love this place. So it's called Luna. It's on the West Shore. If you are looking for waterfront, that condo living, this is the way to go, man. And that location is ridiculous. The West Shore right there, because you're right at the south end of South Tampa. So you're minutes away from all of the great food that is in South Tampa, Hyde Park Village. I mean, you're literally minutes from there. You're going to be 20 minutes to downtown Tampa or less, depending on the day. So you can be down to a Lightning game. You can go hang out at Sparkman's Wharf, go down to the aquarium, or you can hit St. Pete, again, 20, 25 minutes away. And then you can be downtown there. So much at your fingertips. I love this location. And I think this is an excellent again, this is luxury, no doubt about it. But we've got clients that love this type of lifestyle and are looking for these types of opportunities. So, wow. If you got a big boat, we got a place to store it. We got a place to store it. So that's pretty cool, right, ladies?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure we can find some friends for you too.
Yeah. The people with boats never really have a problem getting friends, do they?
No.
I can't, it's weird to me. I've been trying to figure out that my whole life, but it's just like, yeah, they make friends. It's really weird. It's really weird. All right, Stacy, where do you want to head first? We got Chris in the house. Maybe we should go out to Wood Creek.
Yes, right? Let's do it. Go out to Wood Creek. Okay. Because we have been talking about new construction deals for quite some time, and it just keeps getting better and better. I mean, compared to where we were a year ago, it's just crazy the deals that they're having right now.
Yeah.
But Wood Creek is a community in Wesley Chapel. It's in a really great location. I'm kind of biased to this location because I used to live right behind this community. And you're right off Highway 56, and you're far enough out of Wesley Chapel that you're kind of out of the hustle and bustle of everything, but you're only 10 minutes down the road.
Yep.
So it's a great location. But it is by D.R. Horton, and they are running a special right now. They're having a red tag sale. So till the end of the month, they are paying all the closing costs, and they are having some interest rate specials on some of their inventory, which their inventory, they have specials on our properties that are ready to go. So you need to close in the next 30 days. But they are having interest rates as low as 3.99% on FHA and VA.
Say what?
Yeah. Conventionals, 5.5% with $25,000 in closing costs. Or you can do a 7/6 ARM at 3.875%. So
which, by the way, sorry to interrupt you, by the way, we do not encourage, FYI, but it is available. Go ahead, Stacy.
So the first 7 years, your interest rate would be 3.875%. And then after that, it changes every 6 months, I believe.
I'd have to see the data how it's set up, but it adjusts more than you want it to. Let's put it that way.
But the goal would be for you to refinance before then. But we all know life happens sometimes, and you don't always get to do that.
Yeah. So fixed rate is always our recommendation, y'all. Just FYI, we'll get into that. There are circumstances and instances where an ARM does make sense for people. Totally understand that as well. Just want to make sure that we're walking you through it. Chris says, and thanks for sharing this, Chris. This is great. 15 different floor plans, townhomes starting at 313 all the way up to 4,000 square foot homes. Yeah, you guys got some big ones out there. He said correct every 6 months. So that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification on that. But again, different strokes for different folks. But if you can get a great low fixed rate mortgage, always take it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always take it. You can make adjustments later. All right. Ashley says it's hi y'all. It's hard to find new construction that does not have yes. we'll talk about that for sure, but it is rare. Well, it's uncommon. I think rare is an unfair word, but uncommon in master plan communities in the Tampa Bay area is the way that I would describe that. A little bit more fair, but these are great. So keep rocking, Stacey. Sorry to interrupt you there.
That's all right. So also I wanted to point out that they have a multi-gen home over here at DR Horton, which is really nice.
Which model is that again?
It's called the Camden.
That's right.
And they have 2 of them on interest rate specials right now. One is ready now, and the other one will be ready in the winter months, which I'm assuming is November, December, January.
Mm-hmm.
They are starting at 609 and goes up to 619, I think. Yeah, 619.
This is that property specifically. We've Stacey, you sold at least one of these, right? This Camden model, because they made a couple adjustments on this. They used to have an exit door on the outside. Now they don't. They've some different things here. But let's walk them through this really quick. Multi-gen means what for those of people who may not be aware?
It's like a little in-law suite.
Multi-generational is what that stands for.
Multi-generational. Yep. So this floor plan, the suite, you don't have an exit, like you said, to the outside. However, it is kind of in the back or the side of the house by the garage. So you would have your own little hallway coming in from the garage.
Yep. So when you come in from the garage, there's a mud room there. Typically is where that is. This looks like a laundry. And I can't remember if that's where it was, Stacey. When you walk in, it's the mud room. There was a seating area there, and the one we walked into had the generational spot on the right side of that floor plan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you came in and it had this kitchenette, which is what you guys see here. No stove, but it did have a refrigerator. There was a microwave in the one we were in, plenty of cabinetry, wet bar, of course. And then you have this living area that's right in front of you here on the screen. It was large enough for TV, sofa. It wasn't a huge spot, but definitely, I mean, it was all of 13 by 15 at least. And Chris could probably figure out the numbers on that on the fly, but good enough spot to take care of what you guys need to. Here's the other angle here. Here's the other bedroom. That bedroom was enormous, and so was the closet and the bathroom that was attached to that suite. So that was a huge selling point for the clients that ended up getting in this. I mean, look at huge. All right. So great spot in terms of location. I won't get too far in the weeds on this specific property, but yeah, those multi-generational ones, they used in the past, there was a lot of conversations about, we have family, maybe I'm taking care of my mother or my father who's elderly or ill, but more recently, we've seen a lot of parents having to take care of children or, the people coming back home. It's been wild. So this is a good option. These are definitely going to be on the upper end of the price range for DR Horton, typically, but you do get a lot out of the property in terms of living. So I like that, how it's set up.
Yep. That is a great option. All right. So my other community I wanted to talk about is in Chapel Crossing.
Okay.
Which is also in Wesley Chapel. And it's by, there's 2 builders out there right now. So what?
So weird that we're going out to Wesley Chapel again, Stacey.
It's by MI Homes. And in my opinion, out of all the builders right now, MI Homes is being the most aggressive in trying to move their homes and get them off their books. Chapel Crossing has 45 homes in inventory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they are looking at all offers, which is crazy because it used to be you could only negotiate certain things. And now they are negotiating on price. They're throwing in some little extras here and there. They're giving you interest rate specials. It's crazy how aggressive they're being. But some of their price cuts, they have up to $130,000 off the purchase price. Their interest rate specials right now are 4.8% on a 30-year fixed, or they have a 2-1 buy down where your first year is 2.875%.
Yep.
Your second year is 3.875%, and the year 3 through 30 is 4.875%. It's all closing costs paid.
Wow. What are the lot premiums typically starting out there, Stacy? What are you seeing?
They're like the ones that back up to other homes usually aren't additional, but there's 15 to 60,000.
Okay. And here's some of those inventory homes that you're talking about, so we can kind of get perspective, y'all. So you've got a Willow plan here at 484. That's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage at almost 2,300 square feet. That's a pretty good price point, right, to come in there. That's pretty cool. Oh, and we got some breaking news. Shout out to Chris who's jumping in. He says breaking news. You heard it here first on our stream. Starting next month, and this is back to the Wood Creek for DR Horton, just FYI. Starting next month, we're offering more options in Wood Creek than any other communities. Gourmet kitchens. So you're gonna have to enlighten us, bro. Removing carpet. That is. We'll talk about that in a minute. Removing carpet, hardware on cabinets. Now we're talking upgrades, y'all. We are talking and more. Yeah. So we'll get back into that for sure. I definitely have questions, Chris. So here's what we should do, y'all. We should invite our sales reps from these great partners we have in new construction onto the show. If you guys would like to have that dialogue, have them on and ask them questions directly, will you please let us know in the chat, and let us know by giving us a thumbs up. All right. That's the best way to do that. Sorry for covering you there, Madison. I know we can't do the two things at once for some reason, but
it's okay.
Great share on that, Chris. We appreciate it.
That's exciting.
Yeah, happy to do that. So I was just going through some of these inventories. What model do you have, Stacy? What model did you build?
I have the Barcelo, which I don't think they offer it over there. Maybe close to the Carina, maybe.
Okay. Cool. And it looks like you do have some different lot options too. Like here's the thing. We get these comments all the time, y'all, about how small the lots are in Florida. We're just going to be real with you. That is very normal here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like people are like, yeah, we can't wait to get it like half-acre lot. I'm like, it's not happening.
No. We get, like you said, we get that feedback a lot. And I always encourage people to just walk in one that doesn't back up to another house, that backs up to a pond or conservation, because you quickly realize you still feel like you're, excluded.
Exactly.
Because you don't feel like you're boxed in. So
yeah, and that's why I was pulling like this section. I was trying to make it a little bit larger. I know it's harder to see here, but this other property, I mean, y'all, these things are tight right here, right? As an example. And then you come down here and there is a huge space here. There's green space on the side of this house, and that backs up to water on the back end of it on this property down here, right? So they do have those options. These are things to kind of think through for people who are concerned or feel like it is. Most of the living in these properties are done outside. What we typically see is people will either buy a pool, like get a home with a pool, or add a pool, cover the lanai, and that's where you spend a majority of your time. And then when you want to go do something, you go to the really cool park or the green space or whatever they have in the community, or you can go to the county parks. Our county parks in the state of Florida are bananas good.
Mm-hmm.
They are all beautiful. There's so much wildlife, and I love going to the parks. It's amazing, right? It's not something I ever did when I was back in Michigan. We have beautiful places back there too, but not like here. This is great, Stace. Love it. So 600,000 we're seeing on that. Like I don't have a single 700,000 property on here. I'm sure they're here. But just in general, they were ranging from the high 600s to down in the low 4s, which is wild.
Yep. And open to negotiation.
Yeah, that is the other thing. And I hope we have time to get into that. If we don't, we don't. But that is the major point right now, is we are seeing a lot of wheeling and dealing, right, ladies?
Yes, absolutely.
That is a huge point. Okay, cool. What else we got, Stacey? Where else we heading next?
So now we're heading out to Land O'Lakes in Connerton, which we did a video on Connerton a couple of weeks ago. Also by MI Homes. Now this is a brand new community that just opened up a couple of months ago. So they are just getting their inventory built up. So they have 9 inventory homes ready. I think the earliest it will be ready will be January.
I want this one.
So they're not being as aggressive as Chapel Crossing, but they're still having a good interest rate special, which is the 4.8% for a 30-year fix, and then the 2-1 buy down.
What high school is Connerton? Do you remember? Is that Sun Lake or is it Land O'Lakes?
Land O'Lakes High School.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a Pinecrest Academy right around the corner where you're close enough you could walk to.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
But the school's rate really high over there, so great option.
There's a lot of we rate at A on the school grounds and out in Land O'Lakes, man. They are super proud. When I was out there, they were everywhere. Everywhere I went, there was a stake in the ground. We're an A school. I was like, look at you guys go. And this is important, ladies, right? Remember, we were talking about this 2 years ago, Stacey. We were talking about how important education is and how much change we were seeing. It's hard when you're looking from a distance and you look at rate. First of all, everybody said the Florida education is terrible. We've showed the statistics on that for the last 3 years, and it's not, y'all. Just FYI. Now, is it the best? Absolutely not. We're not gonna tell you that. However, you need to look locally where you're living, because there are some wonderful schools in the area here, and Pasco just keeps opening more A-rated schools out there. So keep your eyes peeled if that's an area you're interested in. Definitely worth looking at. Cool. What else you got for us?
And then we can go back up to San Antonio, Wesley Chapel area at Mirada, which is a lagoon community. But Homes by West Bay is out here, and they have some really nice lots available. They've done some price cuts on their inventory. They're around like $16,000 to $30,000 off the list price.
Wow.
They're paying up to 6% closing costs, and they have an interest rate special at 4.99% for a 30-year fix.
Yep. And Stacey, what are we going to typically see with prices there? I mean, we can see them on the screen here, but we're talking mid 5s to million-ish, correct?
Yeah. Not very many that I've seen over $1 million yet over there, especially with the market the way it's been. But yeah, I think mid 5s would be tight to get in at mid 5. I'd say closer to 6.
Yep. Yeah. This is my favorite floor plan, y'all. We talk about this all the time. This is like, if I could plop this where we live, oh my God, I'd have to knock down both my neighbors.
As Mirada.
This is the Biscayne too.
Oh, the Biscayne.
Yeah, but I'd have to knock down both the houses on each side of us to get this bad boy up. But like, I love them. They could move in. I don't know. It's a great house.
Well, they have an inventory home. I think it's the El Mirada that's ready to go for like $680. It is a really, really nice lot. I was in it over the weekend.
Yeah, they make great. I love their floor plans. They're a great builder. We are spoiled. We got some great builders. Who else we got?
And then the last one, just going back up to Chapel Crossing in Wesley Chapel, we have David Weekley. They have a couple inventory homes. They got 5 ready to go. They're offering a 7% flex cash, which can be up to $40,000. And what you can do with this flex cash is you have the option of paying for closing costs. You can buy down your interest rate, or you can take that money and take it off the purchase price of your house. So they're leaving that up to you. You can decide whatever works best for you.
Yep.
Or you have some interest rate specials you could use instead, 3.99% for a 7-year ARM or a 4.99% fixed.
4.99 fixed, y'all. That's
Crazy.
Yeah. Guess who does not have a 5% fixed rate mortgage?
Me.
I don't either.
Y'all, that's a whole nother conversation. We definitely will get into that another time. Bees.
Yeah, so even if the interest rates drop, they're not going to drop to that. Not anytime soon, right?
Not anytime soon.
No.
Yeah. If they do, it's not good news for anybody. FYI.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's ridiculous. Bees, literally bees, multiple of them. 54 between Parkway and 41 is really absolutely. It's that Angeline out there area is going crazy. Oh, here it is. Yeah. I drove through Angeline. My take is 54 corridor is probably better for many. It's really outdoorsy. The way I would describe that area, and I actually described it that way on the video that I launched on Saturday, ladies, is like, to me, it feels like it's for the outdoor. It's for the people who have finally made the decision that they're going to move from a rural area or multiple acres, and they want to dip their toe into master plan living, but don't want to be around everyone. That's what I saw when I was in Angeline. Now, having said that, it's still a master plan community, and that area is still going to grow like crazy in the future. Listen, y'all, as we've discussed many times before, the Sparrows Research Cancer Institute out there is a 600-acre facility that is full of researchers. There's going to be manufacturing and development taking place out there. Y'all, that area is going to grow. Stacy, it took me 23 minutes to drive from Tampa International Airport to Sparrows. That's all it took. On a Monday.
Well, right on the toll? Yeah.
Yep. I was on the Suncoast Parkway over there, and it was 23 minutes. It was no big deal. Now, when I left, traffic was definitely heavier. My guess is just based upon volume, what I was seeing, it was probably going to be a 40-minute drive home. But that is still a very easy drive in Tampa Bay if you have to go to downtown or to the West Shore area over there by the airport. So definitely wanted to bring that up, y'all, as we kind of dip into those topics specifically on it, because I do think that's an area that's not, I wouldn't say up and coming. It's there. I think it's going to do really well into the future, and it's something that is going to be awesome for years to come.
Yeah.
So like, check it out. And education, that was where I was really driving towards this. Like, all of the schools around that place all have the A. They had a giant A. We're rated A in the yard. That area, I think, in the future, over the next decade, is going to become one of the most dominant, like, education. We love living here. It's a good spot. It definitely, it's a little bit more rural around the edges there, y'all. You get out to, what is it, 54?
52.
52. Yeah. Where the Publix is up over there. And again, that's why I think it's for that person who still wants space. It's not overwhelming. It's not like going down to the Tampa premium outlets where, like, you basically got to put on a helmet and shoulder pads and get in line, to move anywhere over there.
But, I think it's only a matter of time, though, because if you would drive towards San Antonio on 52, it's all green space right now, but that's all going to be developed. So it's coming.
It is coming. Yep. There's no doubt about it. But great area. And again, y'all, if you want more info on this stuff, reach out to us. I didn't been running the numbers here. Make sure you guys do that. Let me put this up on the screen. You can just pull out your phone, literally scan that barcode or the QR code there. It'll take you right to our website. Ask Stacy about this. If you're interested in Pasco County, those northern areas, just leave a message there. Hey, can I talk to Stacy about these properties out there? Because she's in these communities all the time. As you can see, the builder reps are reaching out to her, sharing info that isn't even out yet. Breaking news, right? So that's pretty awesome to be able to have that. So don't hesitate to reach out to her about that line of questioning. That's what we're here for, y'all. We're really here to help. And shout out to Sandra, by the way, who was just in town, right?
She was living that Tampa life last week.
I love it. Shout out to that template, by the way. But yeah, I like that. Yeah. That's good.
I'm
Hope
trying
you-
to get Sandra in the Esplanade 55 plus over here.
That is, you're getting bougie on us now.
I know. Well, she's bougie.
She says, I want to meet Angeline. Sounds like she could be my friend. Not if you're going to Esplanade. These two things are not the same.
Yeah.
I want you to be very aware. They are not the same. And not that I'm down on Angeline. They're just different lifestyles entirely.
Yeah.
Right? Entirely. But yeah, that's really cool. What a cool experience. Sandra, glad to hear that you were out last week. Hopefully you had an amazing time. I know that you were spoiled if you got to hang out with Stacy. So it's always a good time to be able to hang out with her. That's good stuff. All right. We're going to be talking about some underground stuff right now, right?
Yes. Very
Like,
exciting stuff. Underground tunnel.
Underground tunnel.
The
Well, it's not the
secret
first one in the area, but that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see it. All right. Where are we going? Tell me where we're heading out to.
So we are going to head to the parish community that's called Sierra.
Okay.
And it's a lagoon community that is building an underground tunnel for its residents to access all the commercial infrastructure that's going to be built there. So super exciting stuff. You're going to be able to take your golf cart there, walk, bike. There's going to be a Texas Roadhouse, a CVS, a Publix. They're currently building a 7-Eleven and a Wendy's. And then they did tell me that there's a Wawa also coming. So us Floridians tend to love Wawa. I feel like everyone loves Wawa. Yeah. When I moved here, I knew nothing about Wawa, but now I'm like on the train of like, okay, I guess everyone loves Wawa here. So
I like Wawa. I just can't eat at Wawa.
Well, you're not the only one apparently, because they closed the one and only drive-through. The very first one they opened in the country, the Wawa's already closed. It was opened and closed within a year. Wild.
Wow. I believe it. Yeah, I will not be eating at Wawa either. I maybe grab some snacks or water.
That's right. Use the restroom. They're always nice and clean.
Yes. It is clean. They have good gas too. I always get the truck fueled up at Wawa.
Yes. Yep. So basically, the underground tunnel will be underneath Carter Road, and again, it's just designed for that community to be able to access all those fun and awesome restaurants that are going to be coming to that community. Yep.
So they're putting all that stuff on the other side of Moccasin Wallow, right? Like, and for those of you that don't know, the highway would be over here. This would be 75 to the left that I'm drawing over there. You come down Moccasin Wallow Road. This would be about a 2-mile drive, maybe 3 miles. I'm trying to remember exactly right off the top of my head, but there's a Publix right here. There's a golf course down here. Some stuff you can do in that area there, but the lagoon is right here, just so everybody can kind of get their head wrapped around it. Is the commercial stuff going right here, Madison? Is that where it is?
No. So it's kind of like at the entrance of Sierra. As soon as you pull into the left, that's where the Wendy's is currently being built.
Oh yeah, no, that is this. It's just upside down. You're right. This is Moccasin Wallow Road. So when you pull in, this is to the left. So that's where this would be. Yep. Okay.
Yes. Yep. Correct.
It's
and they
directly across the street from the lagoon.
Yes. Yeah. Correct. And they're already having, I don't know the name for it, but like those big signs that has like all the names of like the shopping center sign.
Yep.
They already have that up. So it's really interesting. And it's always fun to just kind of see the process every time I go back of all the stuff being built.
Yeah. The progress is interesting. Angelina is going to have a lagoon at some point as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna be spoiled with lagoons. You don't have to live by the beach anymore, which is good for those who are terrified of hurricanes, which is understandable to say the least. Gusto says underground is a great idea as long as they don't have water problems. Yeah, usually they're built pretty well over there. That's a great point. West Chase has an underground system like that where you can go from basically their downtown area to their parks and residential areas right across the street. That's pretty nice. When I was out in Connerton, the Connerton Park out there, Stacy, with the splash pad and everything, same thing. They have a recreational area. You can drive under the main road, which is pretty cool. So Madison, I love that. That is for our golf cart, like families and friends, and you can ride bikes. It's just really convenient and awesome, to say the least. Right?
Yeah.
I love how
Super
that's
convenient.
Yep.
Especially for that community specifically, because you do have multiple builders in there: Lennar, DR Horton, Dreamfinders, DRB. So, I mean, if you don't want to hop in the car and like kind of just live the Florida life, go to Lagoon, hop over to the store. It's super convenient, easy access.
Yeah, got some really cool stuff over there. Yeah, I like that. And Sierra is located. Let me pull up the map for everybody just to kind of give them perspective on these things. Show y'all on the map. Here we go. Should be able to share that one. Okay, cool. Just kind of give you some context here. Like I said, I did a drawing, but nowhere near as Google does. So I figured we would look at that. So just kind of taking a look at this, what's going on here. We've talked a lot about this before. North River Ranch, which is one of our favorite communities in all of Tampa Bay, as a matter of fact. That's right here down Moccasin Wallow Road. The school, the Publix, is everything right across the street here. And as you travel back west towards 75, which you can see here, 75 and 275, I'll back out of this in a second so everybody can get perspective. This is that Sierra development right there. There's a Del Webb. I think it's right here. Right across the street there. There's a KB Homes, a couple other builders, but the Del Webb's right there for sure. Dreamfinders is there as well. You've got DR Horton down there. Lennar is there also, I believe, in terms of home builders, if that's who you're looking for. But as we kind of back out a little bit, this is why this spot is so unique, because it's far enough. This northeast portion of Parrish, I want to talk about this specifically. It's pretty far off the water. Yeah, it's not crazy where it's like you're an hour and 10 or an hour and 20 minutes away from the beach, which some people prefer to be, i.e. Wesley Chapel residents. They like being the place where everybody evacuates to. Yeah. Right, Stacey? It's good knowing that you're not that big of a deal. But this is kind of that zone where you're close enough to the water where you can go see a sunset and it's not a whole day trip. But it still gives you enough buffer where you probably feel a lot more comfortable about where you're living. So that is very unique. But y'all, it's close to Anna Maria Island. It's close to Longboat Key, Siesta Key. You can be in downtown St. Pete in a half hour or less, depending on some days. And then you can get to St. Pete Beach in about 35 to 40 minutes with traffic on a Saturday. Yeah. All right. So it's pretty awesome how close this is to the highway and the access it gives you. You can be to downtown Tampa in about 45 minutes on a good day. It'll probably take you about an hour and 10 with traffic normally, FYI. You could make it to the airport in 50 minutes on a good day too. Again, that would be a good day. Just want to make sure I'm being very transparent with that. But if you are a beach baby, but afraid or have to have new construction because you don't want to deal with old housing problems and don't want to spend $3 million, Parrish is a wonderful area to look at, right? Yeah. Both of these ladies have moved a ton of our clients to the Lakewood Ranch in Parrish.
Yeah. Yeah. Parrish is awesome. I mean, every time I'm there, I get I get the wow factor almost. I'm like, it's just amazing here. And I love driving over that Skyway Bridge. I mean, the views, the drive alone. I'm like, I can do this every day. It's beautiful. It really is.
Oh. That is the one for me. I'm with. And when I cross the Skyway, y'all, for those of you that know, I always have my camera in my truck, like on the windshield. Every time I cross that bridge, I record it. I've shared it a bunch of times on the channel, but I love seeing that bridge because it seems like every day there's a new picture painted.
Yeah.
Right, Madison? It depends on what time of day you go. Like there's boats out. People will be windsurfing. Like there'll be jet skis. There's a Norwegian cruise ship coming underneath. Have you ever driven over it while the ship's going underneath? It's wild.
I have. I've got time
like this. Like, don't look.
He's like, I'm not a fan.
Coaster.
Nope. He's like, no, we don't want that.
I feel like I'm on a roller coaster when I drive over that thing.
It is. Well, I remember the first time I drove, I was like, this thing is not small. But now it's just like second nature.
Well, that's probably the thing. I don't drive it a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's an awesome spot. Like it's such a cool thing, and I'll bring some more footage of that, y'all. We'll share it on our next live so y'all can see it here. Mr. Grillmaster's in the house. He says, "Hey y'all, Gary B here. Thought I would check in. Hope you're keeping well. We are, sir. Thank you very much. Recommendations in St. Pete, trick or treating? First time for the fam this year. Love it. All right. Love that. So last weekend, and I know you're not going to want to hear this, but last weekend was all of the events, Gary. Like everything was taking place then. They had the farmers market that they're doing every Saturday right now, which is great. You should go check that out anyways. Last week, they also had the drone show, and then they did the trick or treat on Saturday too. So that's interesting. God, where else can you go? Gary, there's a wild community here right in Southwest Largo that the whole condo complex, Stacy, like it was the wildest thing I've ever seen. The whole condo complex, it's right off of Oakhurst Road, right by the beach. And everyone, basically every single person who owned a condo there did it to the nines. Like everybody's house and condos done up. They're all out in the driveway. Right when you walk into the community, they're like pour drinks for adults. It's wild.
See, that's the thing though, here in Florida, when you go trick-or-treating, the communities, that's what they do. They set up in the driveway and it's a big party for everybody. It's not just for the kids. Yeah.
It was a really cool experience because I know it's harder. Like first of all, people are having less children. That is the reality of life. But they're also, everything's spread out. So, getting into those communities where they hit it well, that's a good one. Also, Gary, go down to Armature Works right now. They have a carnival going on. And I was going to pull this up because we saw it on the way in. A festival down there, a spooktacular thing where they're doing all kinds of stuff down there too. So really good stuff happening down at Armature Works. If you get a chance to check that out, definitely worth it. Check their website before you go. Just FYI. Don't want to send you in a wild goose chase, but they had all kinds of cool stuff happening down there when we came in back into town on Friday. That was pretty awesome. Okay, cool. We have 7 minutes before we're going to close up shop. So I think I can jump into a couple of these numbers really quick because these girls are bringing great deal opportunities. And I want to talk about that, about where the best opportunities we're seeing in the marketplace are right now. So let me pull up some of those stats real quick.
I'm like, are you really going to do that in 7 minutes?
I think me and Stacey gave each other the look like.
Well, yeah, no, totally. Well, here's where I think we can share some important stuff. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Presentation mode. Here's where the important starts. So first of all, this is Pinellas County, and this is the big one. I just want to talk about a few key points here. I think this is important for all three counties. People ask us all the time about how many people buy houses in cash. All right. 54% of all the homes that were sold in Pinellas County, single family homes, I'm not talking about condos, 54% of all the single family homes bought in Pinellas County in the month of September were paid for in cash. All right. Now, that was 150 homes approximately, which is a wild number to me. But here's the thing I want to talk about. Home prices were down 10.5%. Now, I'm going to explain here why in a second. This is important to note. Does anybody remember what happened last September coming into to 2024, September 2024?
Interest rates went up.
We had Hurricane Debbie that month. It did not come into Tampa, but it was 100 miles out, and we got affected with a lot of rain. Then we had Hurricane, which one was it? Which was the first one? What's that?
Helene?
No, Helene. Then Hurricane Helene showed up at the end of the month, right? Before Hurricane Milton came in October. So this is important to note why that's a big dip. Now, Pinellas County has been on a discount all year, y'all. This is why I want to bring this up. So the median sales price is down 10.5%, but here's what's important, okay? The median percent of the original list price received, meaning if a seller's asking $1 million for the home, they are getting 93% of that. You're essentially seeing 7% on average on the median family home here. That's the discount that we're seeing on average. So you will absolutely see more. And if a property's great, it will still sell in a weekend. That's important to note. Okay, so this is the thing that I want to get into. There are good opportunities. The girls are talking to you about or the ladies are talking to you about the discounted opportunity on new construction and the lower interest rates, but you also have a really good negotiation time right now on single family in Pinellas County. So take note of that. The median time to sale is 77 days. So that's the thing I wanted to kind of walk through. New pending sales are up 25%, which makes sense because the world was shutting down here in Pinellas County at that time. We're going to see the same thing in October's numbers when we run those. New listings are actually up, which again, those are numbers you're looking for. Pending inventory is up. So again, that's putting more downward pressure on pricing. So if you're looking for an opportunity, that's what we're seeing right now. Months of supply, 4.2 months. Technically, it's not a buyer's market, but y'all, it's a buyer's market. Okay, that's the thing I want you to be aware of. So that's Pinellas County. Jumping over to Pasco really quick, getting into their numbers. Let me share that with you. Jumping into Pasco, closed sales were up. Make sure I got it. Yep, single family. And this is single family, doesn't include condos. I'm not going to get that deep today. But closed sales were up 12.6%. So again, the number of homes that sold were up. Paid in cash, 3.1%.
We don't see that much cash.
No, a little bit of a difference between Pinellas and Pasco County. The median sales price is down almost 5%. Pasco's been holding really strong. They were up, they were down. Remember how we talked? It's like a sawtooth right now. We're on the bottom edge of that sawtooth. So keep that in front of you. Average price is $416. The median price to received, again, 95.5. So you're seeing 4.5% on average negotiated off a home in Pasco County. Okay, so keep that in mind. The median time to sell, though, 92 days, a full 20 days longer in Pasco County than in Pinellas County. Okay, now part of that is going to be because it was cash. Right? Cash closes quicker. So keep that in mind. New listings are down. That's good for home sellers in Pasco because that means there's not as much downward pressure. Pending inventory is down. That's not necessarily great. Active inventory is up, but only 9%. So keep that in mind also. And then heading over to Hillsborough County. I am going to get this done. I'm so proud of me. And you should be too, ladies. Thank you very much.
I am very proud of you. You're doing a great job.
Awesome. And then this is Hillsborough County. So for anybody wanting to see the numbers here, I zoom in on this really tight so everybody can see it because I know it's hard when we're sharing a screen like this. But closed sales were up 12.9% in Hillsborough. Hillsborough's where Tampa is, where West Chase is, Lithia, Fishhawk, Brandon, Riverview area for those of you that aren't is dialed in. The median sales price only down 0.8%. Last month they were up. Remember that? But they were just up. It was like 0.3%. So what's really happening in Hillsborough County is prices are staying pretty flat there. Okay. They're staying pretty flat. The average sales price, again, down 5.3%, the dollar volume. And again, 95.6% on average on the listing price. So you're seeing about 4.4% negotiated there. The average days to sell, 82 days, again, closer to what you see out there in Pasco County. And then when we get into the numbers, new pending sales are down a little bit. New listings are up just a touch. Pending inventory is down. And then active listings are up 15%. Months of supply, less than there was in Pasco at 4. But again, still acting as a buyer's market. Okay, I want to make sure that we kind of dial into that. Look at that. So proud. Dude,
I mean, you still have time on the clock.
Yeah,
I know, but we had a comment. I want to get to the comment, make sure we're good. And listen, y'all, I will get into the weeds. My goal for 2021, I'm sorry, 2026. Yeah, for 26,
we're a little past that.
Yeah, is I'm going to go live on a weekday. Just with the numbers, that way the ladies can talk about all the cool and fun things that are happening, the developments, but I'll nerd out on the numbers. And then what we will do is send that to our database. Anybody who's reached out to us, we have your email address. We'll send that out. The ladies are already doing that for you. If you're looking in Pasco or Pinellas, they're giving you that information. If you want to go deeper on it, let us know. But this is a great comment. It says every 5 minutes, Reventure Consulting says that crash is a little must. That's been happening since 2020. Go back and look. The data doesn't support a crash right now, y'all. Now, I'm talking about housing. I'm not talking about the general economy. These things are independent of each other. I can go into a whole realm of getting nerdy on this stuff. But what I want you to be aware of is there is uncertainty in the economy. Whenever that happens, people tend to stay put. Okay. They tend to not, they're afraid. They don't want to move. They don't want to make decisions when there's uncertainty. That's normal. That's a human behavior, right? Y'all, like that we're designed that way, which is a good thing. But that usually also means there's opportunity. So why I'm sharing this with you is because here's what we are seeing. We're seeing downward pressure on interest rates. We're seeing downward pressure on pricing. There is going to be a point when this reverses. I don't know when that is. Anybody who's sitting here today telling you they know when that date is, they are full of it. Reventure, I don't care. No one knows. When Warren Buffett says, I don't know, that means no one knows, right? So he's the godfather of investing, and they're looking at the same things, right? And they're buying opportunities when they see them as well. So what I would say is this: the right time to move is the right time to move for you. That is the reality of making a home move. All right. Do I see some of the best opportunities I've seen in the last 5 years? Yes. Do I see homeowners giving up some of the equity they gained over the last 5 years? Yes. But guess what? If you gained 58% and you just gave up 10, you're not really upset about it over the last 4 years, because most people hold on to real estate for 20 years and they don't get 40% returns. So to be able to do that in the last 5 is wild. All right.
Yeah.
And that's not normal. So look at this as an opportunity, and just, if it makes sense for you, if it makes sense, don't try to put a square peg into a round hole. No one, we always tell everybody that we meet with on Zoom, what do we say, ladies? We are not here to sell you anything.
Yep.
You're right. We're here to help you make an educated decision on whether this is the right move for you. We'll let you know if you're stepping over an opportunity. We'll let you know if you're about to step on a landmine. That is our role. To help advise and to help people make qualified decisions. So if you're interested in reaching out to the team here, if you're thinking about making the move, don't hesitate, y'all. We're here to answer those questions. Happy to do it. You can do that one of 2 ways. You can, well, a few ways. First of all, my phone number is on that screen. That goes right to this phone right here, y'all, with this beautiful lady and my little gorgeous daughter on it. That'll take you right to my phone. You can also go to our website, thattampalife.com, and it'll take you right in there, ask you just a couple questions, and then it'll literally take you to my calendar afterwards, so you can schedule a time to meet with the team. Last week, I got to meet with incredible people while I was in the mountains. Stacy was on a call with me, and Madison was on a call. It was really cool. We're in a cabin, so a different view than normal. But we got to hang out with some great families who are considering making the move here. So that was awesome. And if that's you, don't be afraid. That's not a sales call. It is a strategy call, right? To help you try to figure out, can I make this a reality, or how do I make this a reality? That's what it's there for. So happy to have that conversation and make that connection with you. And, as we say every single time, we love hanging with y'all. Thank you very much. Ladies, any final words before we sign off this evening?
No, glad to be back. And thanks for contributing to the conversation. We love it.
We love it. And if you're watching this later, you have questions, put them in the chat. I will get to them. Right. We always try to get to those conversations and reply to any legitimate comment, by the way. We do have the illegitimate ones also. But just a reminder, there will be no live next Tuesday. I know that's like, Juan, every other week. What's going on here? I know. I'm heading to a conference next week. It was scheduled. We'll be back the following week as usual. Like I said, we're gonna work on setting up some other things, builder representatives, maybe some inspectors, and just get a little bit further in the weeds on some of the important stuff when it comes to buying and selling real estate. So we'll get into that as well. Of course, we'll always be talking about the best places to eat and everything happening in and around town, because as always, we go out and what do we do, ladies?
Live that Tampa life.
Live that Tampa
life. All right. We'll see you we'll see you in 2 weeks, y'all. Have a good night.
Thanks. Good night.
Bye, guys.